Alright, so this is a review on Loski's album, his debut album. It's called Music, Trial and Trauma, a drill story. Um, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, when you think of drill, you're gonna think of Loski. End of the story. Um, but let's begin the story. Alright, so the artwork of I'm talking about UK drill, not Chicago drill or whatever drill or anyway. So let's get into it. All right, so basically, there is the artwork. The artwork is very intriguing. It's like he cut up his chest and he's holding his heart. It's kind of, what's the word? I don't know what the word is, but that's interesting. And I've seen some people take the mick out of his body. I mean, I don't know if it's guys behind the comments. But if it's guys behind the comments and you're commenting on another guy's physique, I mean, if you float that way, that's you, innit? But focus on your own physique, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like, allow it. Allow it. Allow it. Do you know what I mean? Um, but anyway, and he's only 21, innit? Alright, yeah, I know there's some 21-year-olds that are tonk, like dench. But at the same time, yeah. Anyway, there's basically 16 tracks. In fact, we'll talk about that in a minute, right? Alright, so there's 16 tracks. So there's the intro, then there's Teddy Brockshot 2, then there's Anglo-Saxon featuring Blanco, then there's One Me featuring Mizzo Mac, then there's Basil Brush featuring OFB, Bando K and Double L's, then there's Captain Hook, then there's the interlude, and then there is the Avengers featuring Fredo and Popcorn. Then there's Flavor featuring Stormzy. Then there is Niger Man featuring Davido. Then there is Cute featuring H. Then there's 2AM. Then there's the second interlude which features Akala. Then there is the song Black. Then there is Blinded featuring Mike Skinner. And there is Life So Deep featuring Emily Sandé. So the features alone tells you that he is heading in a direction that makes a lot of sense. And what I mean by that is, if you've got someone like the OGs in the game, like Mike Skinner, Akala, on your album, you know what you're doing with your life. You know what you're doing with your career, because that is an absolute smart move. Yeah, a smart move. Now, okay, Akala wasn't rapping, which is fine. It's the same thing with if you saw my review for Revenge is Sweet by Krypton Conan, and although Mega Man wasn't rapping, he was still spitting bars in terms of spitting the truth. Could have pun intended, bars, sweet bar, never mind. Chocolate bar, never mind. Anyway, so like he was spitting bars, you know what I mean? Like he was telling, throwing gems and stuff. So it's an interesting thing when the OGs in the game can, you know, insert their influence on the next generation coming up and all that stuff there. Even though Cryptocurrency were coming up because they're already up, but like a pause. But it's like at the end of the day, it's just good to see. Basically, it's good to see. And Carla was talking about the whole, you know, the violence and all that stuff there that happens, and blame and the way that the media blame black people and drill and all that stuff there. So yeah, that was good to see to hear. And also you got Davido in there. Although Davido's not a OG in the game yet, but I think that's also another big statement. And having Storms on his album as well was another major statement to make. Yeah, that he's in this game for good. Like, as in, this is his career. Do you see what I mean? This, like, he knows what he's doing. All right? Like, there's one thing of having features, But it's another thing having features with this level of caliber. Yeah, obviously, boom, is gonna have feature with Blanco and Miz and Mac. That's a given. Yeah, that is a given. Yeah, but Stormzy, Davido, um, Akala, Mike Skinner, and even Emily Sande, like, come on, that shows you he's reaching other levels, and it was inevitable that he was going to end up having these type of features anyway, because if you've noticed about his career, he's always been different. And I'm not saying that other UK drill artists are not different. I'm just saying that he's able to adapt to different sounds differently, but not also talk about the same thing consistently. He's able to do like it's I don't know how to explain it. It's interesting. He's a very talented guy. I can just say that he's a very talented guy. Um, so it's interesting how his albums out now, and yeah. I don't know if I've got a favorite track on there. Um, I'm just trying to think which one it would be. I can't even think of one. I mean, because he's done a pretty good job, a really, 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 really good job. So leave your answer in the comment section below. What's your favorite track on the album? If you could choose one song, what would it be? Or at least top three. No, let's stick with one. One. What would be that one? Um, but yeah, as usual, you know me, I take one song. If it's in context or out of context, it is what it is. And you know what? Let's just talk about drill. Let's talk about trauma. Let's talk about violence and all that stuff there. Well, look, the reality of living in certain conditionings in um, the UK or anywhere where if you're living in poverty, you're gonna go through trauma. Like poverty is trauma. It's a like living through it is traumatic. It's a traumatic experience, and even if you have to do certain things that you think is right at the time to get out of poverty, then it is what it is. But then sometimes there is going through that traumatic experience because, like, even though you shouldn't have to go through it, it still has an effect on your mind and whatever you go through whatever happens between them. So this is why I strongly recommend that you learn how to deal with your mental health. Yeah, learn how to strengthen your mental health. Learn how to deal with your emotions and your problems effectively. Because what tends to happen is, you know, I don't want to really talk about people's situations because I don't gossip in it. But if you have a problem with someone, there are ways to resolve it without getting emotional. Now, some may say they're not emotional, but if you're reacting in a particular way, then that is reacting emotional. Do you see what I mean? Because you're only thinking about the present. You're not thinking about the consequences of the future of how it's going to affect you. Now, I know you could say, okay, well, I know some people want to be like, oh, how's it going to affect their families, this, that, and the third. And I get that and I respect that. But if you're talking from, because everyone does things from a selfish point of view anyway. Yeah, they do things from a selfish point of view where it's about them, it's about their life right now, yeah, and what they want. And even if it's a thing where they did something to their friends or their family, then again, it's still from a selfish point of view, but at the same time, it's selfless because it's tick for tat, isn't it? But anyway, look, all I want to say is this, so I don't drag it on. If you click the link in the description box below where it says become a member of the Alkebulantrust, you will get access to online courses such as healthcare. And that's where you're going to learn all of that information right there and how to strengthen your mental health and all that stuff there and how to deal with your emotions and problems effectively, yeah, without fatal consequences to self and others. All right, to pursue the desired results that you need and want. Now, back to the album, right? I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. Loski did a great job. I like the features. Although I would have liked a Carla feature in terms of him rapping, but is because imagine him on drill, like imagine. But obviously, give me a Carla the Carla, and he's gonna do his thing. But yeah, I like the features. I like how it wasn't just him talking about one particular subject. Like it was like you can feel the pain and not feel the pain. You can feel what he's talking about in his music basically, and I think that's a testament to an artist. When an artist can actually, you know, create a body of work where they are actually talking about what they've been through, yeah, and it's not just that one thing, then for me, I can rate that artist regardless of any genre. The link to the albums in the description box below. Go stream that, go stream that, go stream that. So big up Loski, big up everyone who contributed to this album. And yeah, got any suggestions, any topics you'd like for us to discuss? Leave that in the comment section below. And remember, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification because you never know the video just might just be next.